Honey, it is so sad in these streets. You know it's bad when your own mother have a dislike for you, a disdain for you, that she is hiding you in her closet in a body bag. And it went on for months. I want to bring to you guys the story. They just discovered new discovery March of 2026, which is this month and this year. And I came across a video, and I want us to look at this because we need to be more aware about these moms out here and how they really feel about their kids. They said the daughter was 20 years old and she, disabled, and she was small frame, but she was so sweet, they say. They said she was so nice. She was not a bother to anybody. What would cause a mom to do that to her own flesh and blood? But a lot of moms do it, believe it or not. I know y'all don't want to believe it. Y'all want to believe that all moms are the same. They not. Y'all want to believe all moms are on like the moms on TV. They're not. All right. So I wish y'all can please stop doing that and stop procreating with these women. That's not right in the head. You man, you got to be careful. That's why it's good to wait into marriage before y'all doing this do out here, because it's just a mess and y'all causing more mess in society already. So if you guys are in here, please press that 3. Let me know you guys are here. How y'all doing? I'm so glad that you guys can enjoy me. And make sure you keep those comments coming. All right. So one of the relatives went over the lady's house, the mother. And they noticed that the 20-year-old girl was not around. So they like, where is such and such? Where's she at? The mom says, well, she's with a friend of hers because they have Down syndrome too, and it'd be a better environment for her. So I guess month goes by. They notice that the mom always keep her door open, but now she always keep her door closed. So now it was one moment where the door was open and the relative saw a body in a bag. So they called the cops. And I just want to say thank you, relatives out there. We do have some good relatives that's just not going to ride or die for their relatives, that know how to pick the right side versus, well, I got to pick my mama's side. I got to pick my relative's side. No, pick the right side. So they called the cops. They said the cops came over there. They didn't see a body, but then they did another deeper dive into the house, and they found the body of this girl wrapped in a plastic bag in the mother's closet. She had her daughter hidden in her damn closet in a goddamn a garbage bag, like a piece of trash. Just who does that? And I know that funk gotta be that scent gotta be smelled. So you mean to tell me you feel uncomfortable in a dead body of your daughter and something is wrong with the mother. Something is wrong with the mother. Who in their right mind I don't even want a dead body in my house, okay? I don't want a dead body on my front porch, my back porch. I don't want to be around no dead body. I don't care who it is. All right? And then the smell, I can't stand funky smells. So for this mom to do this for so long, and I guess she was going to continue it on for whatever. And that got me to thinking too, how many other bodies are there in the world that we don't know about it? Missing kids and missing reports. They can be in their own relatives' houses. And a lot of times the people that do worse shit to y'all is y'all own relatives. It's the people that you love the most. That is who gonna do it. So let's play some of this. I'm going to take it back. Hey, Royal D, how you doing?
Breaking news is first at 5 tonight on your news leader. A Southaven mother in jail tonight after the body of her special needs child is found inside a closet in their...
Don't she look crazy, though? What is that in her head? What is that? What is that?
Apartment. 40-year-old...
And this happened in Mississippi.
Cynthia Clemons is facing charges in the death of
40-year-old Cynthia. She's 40 years old. Damn, 40 done hit her ass hard, right? 40 years old. 40-year-old mother is unaliving her 20-year-old daughter. Wow, this is the times that we're living in. Isn't this biblical? Press 7 if this is biblical. Mothers against fathers, fathers against sons. Honey, we are living in those end times, ain't we? Ooh.
Of 20-year-old Makyra Clemens.
Somebody's aunt got on Facebook and typed words that broke people's hearts wide open. I'm so hurt. So you killed my niece, put her in a bag, and put her in a closet for a whole month. When I'm one call away. I hate you.
Ooh.
One call away.
Yeah, because clearly family members, and I guess we got to do more. I got to call around and say, listen, y'all, please don't kill my cousin. I would take them in if need be. Please don't kill your babies. I would step up, okay? So this relative say, I would have took her in. You didn't have to take her out of here.
Sit with that for a moment, because that is not the cry of a stranger. That is a woman who loved her niece, who was right there, reachable. One phone call from being able to do something, anything. And instead, she found out through the worst possible way that it was already too late. For weeks, the family kept asking, "Where is she?" And every single time they got the same answer. She is fine. She is staying with a woman who understands her condition better. She is in good hands. Ain't gonna lie.
And that's so sweet. You still had relatives that loved this girl despite her disability. She had loved ones. It wasn't like this mother was struggling by herself. And even if she was struggling by herself, you still don't take nobody out of here. She chose to do it because she had hate for her daughter. This wasn't a situation where I don't know what to do and I'm stressed out and I'm just being by myself. She had hate. A lot of these mamas got hate for their goddamn daughters, y'all. Damn. I don't know. They have hate. I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know what it is, but it's hate. Do you guys remember the story recently? I believe it was in Ohio. Press 5. The mother that killed her daughters and put them in the suitcase. Do you guys remember that? Press 5 if you do. So listen, it's going down with these moms out here, y'all. Okay? I don't want to ever hear nobody, well, all moms not like this and moms like that. Look at these mamas, and it's a whole bunch of them we just haven't reported on yet.
They believed it. Why wouldn't they? The person feeding them that story was her mother. But Makyra was not with anyone. Makyra was not fine. Makyra had been dead, sealed inside a bag, shut inside a closet, while her family was being fed a carefully constructed lie, and her mother was walking around like the world was still turning just fine. Make it make sense. This is the story of Makyra Clemens, and today, on Shadowed Crimes TV, we are not looking away.
Thousands of women have reversed hair loss in 3 to 9 months.
Sorry, that's a commercial, but what do you guys think about that? I want to know. Could you imagine you 20 years old and your mama wanted to take you out of here? You know, we are truly blessed. Everybody that's here, that's living right now, we are blessed to have moms that loved us and protected us and not harmed us, because we could have been birthed to a mother like that wanted to take us out of here. And I'm sure before she even took this girl out of here, think about the hell that this mom put this daughter in, the verbal abuse, the mental, the physically, you know. We are truly blessed, you know. So let's go.
She was nonverbal, meaning she could not speak, could not call out, could not tell anyone what was happening to her or around her. Neighbors who knew of her described her as someone who never caused a single problem. Not once. Not ever. She was quiet. She kept to herself. Or more accurately, she stayed close to home because that was the world she knew. Now here is something that stops you cold when you hear it. Makyra was 20 years old, but she had the body of a child. That is not an assumption. That is what people who knew her said directly. A grown woman in every sense of the word by age, but physically small, physically vulnerable, and 100% dependent on the adults around her to keep her safe.
Wow. So she had a body of a child, but she was 20 years old and she was nonverbal, so I guess she couldn't speak or whatever. And but she depended on people to take care of her. And other family members said they would have took care of her. They loved her, you know. And for that mom to do that, to do it to a disabled person and your daughter and someone that can't fight for themselves. I mean, that mother is a predator. She is a monster, that's a monster for you. And where is the father? Do y'all notice we talk about all this shit, but where are the men at? What? Can we GPS the men? Can y'all GPS the baby daddies? Where are the men's? Huh? What? Can you GPS the men's?
Fed, cared for, and protected. She lived in an apartment at South Park Gardens in Southaven, Mississippi, with her mother, Cynthia Clemons. And from the outside, this family kept to themselves. Neighbors were not in their business. Nobody was raising red flags publicly. The world just moved around them, the way it does in apartment complexes where everybody is caught up in their own life. Come to think of it, that is exactly the kind of environment where something terrible can happen and nobody notices until it is way too late. Makyra's brother lived separately. He would check in when he could, the way family does. And for a while, everything seemed, at least on the surface, the way it always had been. But January came, and something changed. The brother started noticing that he had not seen his sister. Not a glimpse, not a mention. She was just gone from view. And when he asked about her, his mother, Cynthia, had an answer ready. She told him Makyra was staying with a woman who also had a daughter with Down syndrome. She framed it as a better situation for Makyra, someone who understood the condition, someone who could give her more. Oh, so now the mother who had been raising this child her whole life suddenly decided someone else could do it better? Looking back now, that explanation should have raised more questions than it answered. But grief and shock have a way of coming after the fact, not before it. The family took her at her word, because she was the mother. Because what reason would a mother have to lie about something like that? Moving on. Because the lie held. For a month, it held. Makyra's brother went about his days, probably carrying a quiet unease he could not fully name.
A whole month. And this mother is 40 years old. She kept her daughter, which is 20, and she had a child of a body inside of her closet wrapped up. I wonder, how did she do it? Did she smother her? It don't seem, it's probably smothering, right? What do you guys think? Do you think, I think it was probably smothering or something like that.
Maybe he told himself she was okay. Maybe he pushed the feeling down because the alternative was too heavy to pick up. But eventually, that feeling got too loud to ignore. And one evening, he went back to that apartment on South Park Circle. He had not seen his sister since January. He needed to know she was okay. He knocked. He got in. He made his way to his mother's bedroom door, and he opened it. There are moments in life that split a person in two. The version of them that existed before, and the version that has to carry what comes the way your body knows before your mind catches up. That what he was looking at was not supposed to be there. He said it looked like it could be a body. He closed that door, and he called the police.
Good for him. You know what? He knew his mama was capable of doing this shit. Press 1 if you feel like the brother and the family knew this mother was capable of doing this shit. I feel like They knew this mom was off. I mean, did y'all see the picture of her and her forehead messed up? Y'all knew this lady was off. Y'all knew she was verbally abusive. Y'all knew something. But maybe they felt like they couldn't get in because that's the mom. Ugh, what do you do in those situations? I mean, I don't know, honey, but something has to change. Something has to change.
Now, let me tell you something, because this part matters. The police came out Tuesday night. They walked through that apartment, and they did not find anything. They left. It makes no sense, right? How do you...
So she must have moved a body. She had to know, okay, my son figure out something. He knows something. And for the fact that he went there when the mom was not there, he knew something suspicious was going on. And I think she caught wind that, damn, he knows something.
Walk through an apartment where a young woman's remains are sitting in a closet and leave without finding them? That question is one the family will probably carry for the rest of their lives. But the fact is, the police left that night without making a discovery. They came back the next morning, this time with a search warrant. And that is when everything that had been hidden came to light. Inside Cynthia's bedroom, in the closet, they found Makyra. She was in a bag. A 20-year-old woman with Down syndrome, who never caused a single person a day of trouble in her entire life, was found sealed in a bag inside her mother's bedroom closet. The aunt would later say on Facebook what investigators were already beginning to piece together, that Makyra had been in that closet for a whole month. A whole month. While the family was being told she was somewhere safe.
God.
While her brother was going about his days trying to shake a feeling he could not explain, while life just kept moving around that apartment complex the way it always did. Makyra was in that closet, in a bag. Anyways, let that land however it needs to land for you. The light filled.
Y'all, let's get these likes up. Do you guys enjoy me doing reactions to true crime stories like this? If you guys enjoy it, please press 7, okay? And let's get these likes up. We could do better than that.
The neighbors and family members who gathered outside that apartment on South Park Circle were not prepared for what had happened. These were people who knew this family, who had lived alongside them, and every single one of them said the same thing. They never saw this coming. Makyra never caused any trouble. She was quiet. She was gentle. She was, by every account from the people around her, an easy, peaceful presence. One neighbor put it simply, "My heart, it really goes out to the family." And the family, specifically the people on Makyra's side who had been kept in the dark, were somewhere between devastated and completely undone. Because grief alone is already a weight, but grief mixed with betrayal. The kind of betrayal where you realize the person you trusted to tell you the truth about your own family member was the very person responsible for her death. That is a different kind.
Damn, how could y'all feel? Your own mama kept that away from you, and your own mama killed your sister. She took her out of here. Oh, God. Oh, God. Ooh, now she's going to rot in jail for the rest of her life, hopefully. If the law and the judge do his job, what is wrong with these women out here? Y'all put it in conversation. What's wrong with these women out here? Huh? What is wrong with them, honey?
Kind of heavy. That sits differently. Come to think of it, the cover story Cynthia had been using was not even elaborate. It was just specific enough to make sense and just vague enough that nobody could check on it easily. She said Makyra was with a woman who also had a daughter with Down syndrome. She framed it as though she was being a responsible mother, pointing her daughter towards someone better equipped to care for her. Looking back now, that story was designed for one purpose: to buy time. Time for what, exactly? That is the part that the investigation had to start pulling apart. What investigators had in front of them was this: A young woman, nonverbal with Down syndrome, found deceased inside a bag in a closet. Her mother was in that apartment. The charges that came down reflected two specific things: abuse of a vulnerable adult and tampering with evidence. That second charge says something. Tampering with evidence does not happen by accident. It means someone made a deliberate decision to hide what happened, to conceal it, to make it harder to find the truth.
Now, is the mother on drugs too? Is she on drugs too? Why is she looking like that? Do y'all think that she was on drugs and that's why she did it? Press 1 if you think she's on drugs and that's why she did it. Press 9, no excuse, she did it. You know, it looked like she's on something. She's 40 years old.
To conceal it, to make it harder to find the truth. And Makyra, by the very nature of who she was, nonverbal, small, dependent, could not have left any kind of trail that pointed anywhere. She could not have written anything down. She could not have told a neighbor. She could not have reached out. The only trail that existed was the one her brother followed when he trusted his gut and went back to that apartment. Oh, so now the question becomes, what exactly happened inside those walls? The investigation was just getting started, but the community already knew enough to be shaken to its core. Ain't gonna lie. When a story like this breaks, the first instinct is disbelief, because the mind does not want to go to the place where a mother is the person you have to be afraid of. We are wired from birth to see that relationship as the safest one that exists. And when that safety is not just broken, but shattered.
F these mamas. F these mamas. And I just want to say, glory. Glory to God. Glory to God. God, thank you, Jesus, for blessing me with a good mama that loved me unconditionally and didn't do this shit to me, because Lord have mercy, we could have all been with a curse of a mama like this, or the mama that killed her daughters and put them daughters in their suitcase. You know, this could have been our moms, but thank God that God did not bless us with effed up moms like these. And you know, she didn't have a fighting chance. This girl right here, nor the 8 and 9, 10-year-old, they didn't have a fighting chance. You know, they didn't have a fighting chance. And you know, it's heartbreaking, because I remember when I was young, I used to, you know, have a fear, you know, because I was trans. Damn, is my parents gonna kill me? You know? And I'm blessed to make it out alive, and just to hear these people not even gay or trans, and they getting fucking killed by their own parents, you know? So a lot of these parents just ain't shit, you know? Mothers and fathers included. These motherfuckers ain't crap, you hear me? So this is just so sad.
Shattered. When it is not neglect, not an accident, but charges that include abuse and evidence tampering. It forces everybody around it to reckon with something deeply uncomfortable. How did nobody know? How did a month pass? How did that little girl, 20 years old but with the body of a child, in a world that already required so much from her just to get through the day, end up in a bag in a closet while the woman who brought her into this world answered questions from family with a rehearsed story about a better caregiver? It makes no sense. And yet, here we are. Cynthia Clemons was taken into custody and jailed in DeSoto County, Mississippi. The investigation was now
Mississippi. Oh, I don't know what they got going on in Mississippi, but shit, I don't want to go down there. If they got mamas like this in Mississippi, and they says a whole bunch of black people in Mississippi, but
fully open. And the family, the aunt, the brother, everyone who loved Makyra, was left trying to hold themselves together.
Let's get these likes up, y'all. Y'all can do better for this story. Justice for this girl. Get the likes up, please. I beg y'all. If y'all want to continue to come as a community to talk and discuss these stories, We need the support, okay? And keep on coming. The comments actually helps.
While the truth slowly came forward.
40-year-old Cynthia Clemons in jail in DeSoto County, Mississippi for what Southaven police found inside this South Park Gardens apartment early Wednesday morning. Southaven police saying they first got the call here on South Park Circle Tuesday night from a man who reported his sister missing. Rosie Atkins says that man was her nephew, Cynthia Clemons' son, who told them he hadn't seen his 20-year-old sister, Makyra, since January.
So my nephew made a discovery to my brother yesterday saying that he saw a body bag mistakenly. She opened her door and he walked past and he saw something that looked like a body bag. And so he said he was gonna call the police and ask if they could do a wellness check.
Police didn't find anything Tuesday night, but went back early Wednesday morning with a search warrant. That's when they found the remains inside the home. Rosie Atkins said they were in a closet in Cynthia's bedroom.
He said usually she keep her room door open. And ever since the allegations of the baby being missing, her door started being more closed often. And he finally caught it open. And he said when he walked past, he saw something that triggered him that looked like it could be a body in a bag. That's what he said.
Atkins says Makyra, who had Down syndrome, was nonverbal and didn't get around much.
I just want to say, for that son, that brother, you is a good man. You are a good man. So many people. Did you hear about that story where that mother and her son, they killed that girl that he was dating allegedly? It happened in Michigan. And the body was in somebody's truck. Did y'all hear that story? Press 2 if you heard that story. You see, mothers and these kids, they do crimes together and they cover it up. And this son right here, he didn't. He did the right thing. He called the cops. He didn't tamper with the evidence. He didn't put his fingerprint on the bag. He didn't open it up. He did the right thing. He called the cops. That's what you're supposed to do. So often people want to open a bag and tamper the evidence. Now your hands is on there. And I think more often people need to have conversations about protocol. What do you do if you were to walk up on a body or whatever? What is the right thing to do? Because often we don't have these conversations, right? So let's get the likes up, y'all.
But never caused any trouble. She was 20 years old, but had the body of a child. They're baffled over the tragedy, remembering what Cynthia would tell Makyra's dad when he asked about her.
And he was like,
ladies, you have to swoop and scoop.
All right, we don't want to scoop and soup. Sorry about that. That's the commercial. Let's get this out the way. Let's get these likes up. Y'all can do better.
and I asked Vet about Cara. She keeps saying she at this lady house who also has an Down syndrome daughter. So she was telling him like she felt like it was better for her to be with that lady because she knew more about what was going on with kids with autism or Down syndrome.
Neighbors who say the family kept to themselves are shocked.
My heart it really goes out to the family because ain't no telling what they're feeling, what they're going through.
Right now, the family trying to deal with their grief.
She don't cause any problem, like never hurt nobody a day in her life. So it was like more of a shock that it was like.
Cynthia Clemons was charged with abuse of a vulnerable adult and tampering with evidence. She was booked and held in DeSoto County, Mississippi. In court, the charges told their own story. 2 counts that together painted a picture of not just what happened to Makyra, but the deliberate effort made to make sure no one found out. The legal process was now in motion, and whatever came next in that courtroom, the family already knew the part that no verdict could ever undo. Her aunt went back to Facebook after everything came out, and this time she did not write in anger. She wrote in grief. She said, "I'm gonna miss you, TT baby. I'm so sorry this happened to you. That is the whole story, right there in 2 sentences. The love, the loss.
Oh, honey, it's heartbreaking. Well, comment. We want to know your thoughts. Why did she do it? Because these mothers are evil. That's why. That's why they are evil. She didn't have to do it. She didn't have to do it. She had family members that would have loved to took her in. But the mom, you know how some of these moms are out here. Well, do you guys want me to come back later on? I can do another true crime story like this one. Press 1 if you guys want another true crime story like this. Or press 5 if you guys want me to continue to talk about Tyrone tonight. So let me know in the comment section. Do you guys want another true crime case? Press 1. Or if you guys want to go back to Tyrone tonight, press 5. Okay? Let me know how you guys are feeling. All right? All right. So I want to let you guys know we are going to be changing things up on Criminal Villains. I will be doing more criminal cases and different reporting, not just the same Tyrone. But comment, let me know. Y'all got to be more active. Hell, okay? And I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Bye.